Hello everyone, welcome to Pabbly. So in this video we are going to learn how to automate lead collection and nurturing for real estate on WhatsApp. So I run a real estate business and want to use WhatsApp to automatically collect lead, qualify their interest and share property information, reducing manual follow-ups. And for that we are going to create a WhatsApp chatbot using Pabbly Chatflow, which is going to reduce your manual workload. So firstly in this video we are going to create a WhatsApp chatbot using Pabbly Chatflow. Now if a user will send a message, an automatic reply will be sent to them. So if you also want to build this automation, then let me take you towards my screen. Welcome to my screen. So in this video we are going to learn how to automate lead collection and nurturing for real estate on WhatsApp, and we are going to do this by creating a WhatsApp chatbot using Pabbly Chatflow. So right before you on my screen you can see this is the flow I have created for creating the chatbot. And not only this, we are also going to save our client details over HubSpot CRM as a new contact. So let's start building this automation, but before that I am going to show you the real working demo of this automation. So for that let's move on to my WhatsApp with me. So here you can see I have already opened my WhatsApp, and now I am going to send a message to the number which I have already connected to my Pabbly Chatflow account, and here this number is saved as my test number. So now let's enter a message over here. So here I am going to enter a message that is I want to buy a property, and as soon as I have entered this message I am getting a welcome message which says, welcome to XYZ Real Estate Agency, how can I help you to find your dream home today? And here we are getting two buttons, that is buy property and rent property. So now let's select our first button, that is buy property over here. And now as I have selected my first button, I am getting a message which is asking me to enter my full name. So now let's enter our full name over here. Let's say I am going to enter this name, that is Smart Lead, and as I have entered the name I am getting a message which is asking me to enter my email address. So now let's enter our email address over here. So here I am going to enter this email address, that is smartlead@pablitudes.com, and afterwards we are getting a message which is asking me to enter my budget range. So now let's enter our budget range over here. So here I am going to enter my budget range, and afterwards I am getting a message which is asking me to enter my preferred location. So now let's enter our location over here. So here I am going to enter my location as Delhi, and here I am getting a message which consists of the list of the properties for sale. So now let's open this list and check the properties over here, and here we are getting two sections, that is for the 2 BHK apartments and villas. So here I am going to select this modern flats over here on the 2 BHK apartment section, and here as I have selected the property I am getting a thank you message which says thank you for your interest, we have noted your preferences. Now let's select our second button, that is rent property over here, and as I have selected my second button, that is rent property, again it is asking me to enter my details. So now you can see our chatbot is working properly. And now let's move on to our HubSpot CRM and check whether a contact is created over there or not. So here you can see I have already opened my HubSpot CRM, and on the contacts page you can see I am successfully receiving the contact which I have recently created, name as Smart Lead and the email as smart@pablitudes.com. So this is the way a chatbot works. So you can also create a chatbot like this by just using Pabbly Chatflow. Now for accessing the Pabbly Chatflow, you just have to type its URL over the new tab, that is pabbly.com/chatflow, and once you will enter the URL you will be getting the landing page of Pabbly, and here you can see we are getting two options, that is sign in and sign up free. So if you are a new user you can simply click over this sign up free, but if you are an existing user you can simply click over this sign in. But before moving on forward I am going to tell you about Pabbly community. So here you can see this is the page of Pabbly community where automation users, marketers and business owners gathers to share their ideas, ask questions and get relevant update regarding using the Pabbly applications. So you can also join Pabbly community now and grow your business with us. So if you wish to join the Pabbly community you can find link in the description given below. Now let's move on to the Pabbly Chatflow again, and here I am going to simply click over the sign in as I already have an account on Pabbly Chatflow. And as you finish your sign up you will be getting this all Pabbly apps page, and here you can see these are the products provided by Pabbly. And as we are going to create a chatbot we just have to access this Pabbly Chatflow, and on this Pabbly Chatflow app tab, you can see we are getting the option for access now. So let's select it and we will be landed to the dashboard page of Pabbly Chatflow. Now on the dashboard page, you can see these are the numbers I have connected to my account. You can also add your WhatsApp number by just clicking on this add WhatsApp number button, and here you can see we are getting two options, that is WhatsApp Connect and Manual Token Connect. So if you want to integrate your WhatsApp number, you can simply click over this WhatsApp Connect, and if you want to connect with token number, you can simply click over this Manual Token Connect. And if you want a detailed video of this process, you can find video link in the description given below. Now moving on to the sidebar, you can see these are the features provided by Pabbly. So if you want to learn more about these features, you can find video link in the description given below. Now if you wish to create your own folder, you can simply click over this create a new folder button and create your own folder. Now I am going to show you how you can create your WhatsApp chatbot. So for that, you firstly have to create a flow. So on the sidebar, you can see we are getting the options for flows. So you just have to select the flows over here. And as you will select the flows, you will be getting this flow builder page. And here you can see these are the flows I have created in my account. And now I am going to show you the process of how you can create your own chatbot by creating a flow from scratch. For that, you simply have to click over this add flow button and you will be landed to your flow page. And here you can see we are getting the option for providing a name to a flow. So now let's provide a name to a flow here. So here I am providing it the name Automate Lead Collection and Nurturing for Real Estates. Now moving on further, we are getting the option for trigger. So now you might be thinking, what is this trigger? So trigger is basically the action which is going to initiate your chatbot. Now on this trigger, we are getting the option for trigger events. So here you can see these are the trigger events we are getting, that is keyword regex match, user starts conversations, template selected, WhatsApp template delivered, contact added to contact list, custom field updated, and tag assigned. So here I am going to keep it as the same, that is keyword regex match. And now you might be thinking, what is this keyword? So keywords are basically the words which are going to initiate your chatbot. Now let's say I want to initiate my chatbot as soon as someone types by property. So for that, you just have to make that text as a keyword. So for that, you just have to type it and press the enter key, and here our one keyword is ready. Now moving on further, we are getting the option for regex. So regex are basically the short form for the regular expressions. These are used for the specific user input. And if you want to trigger any message, you can enter regex like this. Now I am going to send a welcome message to my clients or customers. So for that, you simply have to drag and drop, and here you can see we are getting the option for text button. So you just have to select it and you will be getting text button message, and here you can enter the message which you want to send to your clients or customers. So now let's enter a welcome message over here. So here you can see I have entered this welcome message for my customer, and I have entered this sentence, that is welcome to XYZ Real Estate Agency, between these asterisk signs to make it bold. Now I am going to add some buttons in this message. So for that, you simply have to click over this add button and you will be getting the option for entering the text. So here you have to enter the text of your first button. So now let's create a first button over here, that is by property. So here I have created my first button, that is by property. Now I am going to add one more button, that is rent property. So here I have created my another button also, that is rent property. Now if someone selects by property, I want to save that contact as a buyer. So for that, firstly I have to create a contact custom field for this button. So for that, you just have to go to actions, and here you can see we are getting the option for set custom field. So just select it and you will be getting a contact custom field action. Now we just have to connect this by property button with this contact custom fields, and from here we just have to select the contact custom field which we want to select. So for creating the contact custom field, you just have to go to settings, and here you can see we are getting the option for contact custom fields. So just select it and create your own fields. Now I am going to select contact custom field for this button is property. So now let's search for the property over here, and here you can see we are getting the option for property. So let's select it, and after that we just have to enter the value. So here I am going to enter the value as by property which we have provided over the button. So here I have created a contact custom field for this value or the button, that is by property. Now I am going to do the same for this second button, that is rent property, by creating a contact custom field. So again you have to click over the set custom field, and afterwards I am going to select the contact custom field as property over here, and afterwards I am going to enter the value, that is rent property. So here we have created the contact custom field for both these buttons, and we are creating this contact custom fields for saving the extra information regarding our clients or the customers. Now with the help of this contact custom field, I am going to create a tag for the buyers and renters. Now as soon as someone will click over this buyer property, they will be saved with the tag that is buyers. So for that you just have to go to actions, and here you can see we are getting the option for add tag. So let's select it, and afterwards we just have to connect this contact custom field action with this add tag, and from here you have to select the tag which you want to add for these contact custom fields. And if you don't have any tag, you just have to click over this create tag, and afterwards you just have to provide a name to your tag and click over this add tag, and your tag will be created. But here I have already created a tag, so I will be just selecting the tag from here. So here you can see we are getting the tag that is buyers, so I will be just selecting it, and afterwards I am going to provide a tag if someone clicks over this rent property. So for that I am going to click over this add tag button again, and here I am going to provide it the tag as renters. So now let's select the tag from here, and here I am going to select the tag that is renters. Now we are going to add a tag for someone who will click over this buy property as a buyers, and if someone clicks over this rent property, we are going to provide them a tag as a renters, so that in future we can identify them as whether they are buyers or the renters. So here we are done with the tags. Now I am going to ask some questions from my clients. So for that you can see on the actions we are getting the option for ask question. So just select it and you will be getting a question action, and here I am going to enter a question asking for the full name. So here you can see I have entered a question asking for the full name. Now I am going to select the contact custom field as full name over here, and I have created this contact custom fields from the setting about which I have told you earlier. And after that I am going to select the format as any, and here we are done with our first question. Now I am going to ask another question from my customer or the client. So for that again you have to click over this ask question, and here I am going to enter my another question asking for the email address. So here I have entered my another question asking for the email address, and the contact custom field I have selected is email, and the format I have selected is any. Now again I am going to ask another question from my clients. So here I have entered my another question asking for the budget range, and the contact custom field I have selected is range, and the format I have selected is any. Now again I am going to ask another question from my client. So here I have entered my another question asking for the location, and the contact custom field I am going to select is location, and the format I am going to select is any. Now if my user answers all these questions, I am going to save the details provided by my clients as a new contact over the HubSpot CRM. So for that we just have to access Pabbly Connect. Now for connecting this Pabbly Chatflow and Pabbly Connect, we are going to use this action that is API request. So you just have to select it and you will be getting this API request action, and on this API request action we just have to paste the webhook URL. Now for getting the webhook URL we just have to move to Pabbly Connect, and for getting the Pabbly Connect you just have to go to all Pabbly apps page which I have already shown you. Now on this page you can see we are getting the option for Pabbly Connect. So you just have to click over this access now for accessing the Pabbly Connect, and we are landed to the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect. So here you can see this is the dashboard page of Pabbly Connect. Now we are going to create a workflow. So for that you simply have to click over this create workflow button, and you will be getting the option for selecting the workflow builder. So here we are getting two workflow builder, that is beta and classic. So beta is newly launched workflow builder which is modern, faster and more flexible, and we are getting another workflow builder classic which will provide you stable and familiar approach. So here I am going to use this newly launched workflow builder beta. So for that you simply have to click over this select button, and you will be getting a dialog box where you have to provide a name to your workflow. So now I am going to provide the same name to my workflow which I have provided to my Pabbly Chatflow. So here I am providing it the name automate lead collection and nurturing for real estates, and afterwards I am going to select the folder that is Pabbly Chatflow. Now we just have to click over this create button, and here you can see we are getting this pop-up which says workflow created successfully, and we are landed to a workflow page. And on this workflow page you can see we are getting the option for add trigger. So now you might be thinking, what is this trigger? So trigger is our first application or the application which is going to initiate our workflow. So I want to initiate my workflow as soon as I receive a new message over the Pabbly Chatflow. So I am going to select my trigger app as Pabbly Chatflow. So now as you will click over this add trigger button, you will be getting this trigger setup page, and here I am going to select my app as Pabbly Chatflow which can be seen here. So let's select it, and afterwards it is asking me to select the app event. So I am going to select my app event as new message received. And now we just have to click over this connect button for building the connection between Pabbly Chatflow and Pabbly Connect. And here we are getting the webhook URL. Now this is the webhook URL which we have to paste over the Pabbly Chatflow on the API request. So let's copy this webhook URL, and now let's move on to a Pabbly Chatflow again, and here on this API request we are getting the option for selecting the method. So here I am going to select my method as post, as I want to create my contact over the HubSpot CRM. Now we just have to paste the webhook URL which we have recently received from the Pabbly Connect. So here I have pasted my webhook URL, and on the parameters section it is asking me to enter the key and selecting the contact custom fields. So here I am going to create my first key as full name. So now let's enter full name over here. So here I have created my first key. Now I am going to select the contact custom field as full name, and now I am going to create my another field, that is email. So here I have created my second key, that is email. Now I am going to select the contact custom field as email over here. So here I am done with this contact custom field. Now I am going to add more fields such as budget range and location. So here you can see I have created two more keys, which is budget range having contact custom field range, and the location having contact custom field location. Now we simply have to click over this test for sending response to our Pabbly Connect. Now let's move on to a Pabbly Connect and check whether we are receiving the response over there or not. And here you can see we are successfully receiving the response and the keys which we have recently created over the API request on the Pabbly Chatflow. So here we are done with our trigger setup. Now we just have to set up our action. So for that you just have to click over this add new action step button, and you will be getting this action setup page. And here I am going to search for the HubSpot CRM, as I want to create a contact over the HubSpot CRM. And here you can see we are getting the option for HubSpot CRM. So let's select it, and afterwards it is asking me to select the app event. So I'm going to select the app event as create a contact, as I want to create a contact. Now we simply have to click over this connect button for connecting HubSpot CRM with Pabbly Connect, and we are landed to the connection page of HubSpot CRM. And here we are getting two buttons, that is add new connection and select existing connection. So if you want to build a new connection, you can simply click over this add new connection, and we just have to click over this connect with HubSpot CRM, and from here you just have to choose your account. But here I already have an existing connection, so I will be using select existing connection, and here my connection has been already chosen. Now we simply have to click over this save button for saving this connection, and here you can see we are getting some of the fields. Now I am going to map these fields. Now you might be thinking, what is this mapping? So mapping basically makes the field dynamic, means you don't have to enter your data again and again. The responses will be replaced as the new responses will be arrived. So here I am going to map my fields. So here you can see we are getting the field, that is email. So now let's map it from the response which we have received from the Pabbly Chatflow. So here you can see we are getting the option for email. So now let's map it over here, and afterwards we are going to map our first name. So on the place of first name I am going to map my full name, and here I have mapped my full name and email. And now we just have to click over the save and send test request for sending our test data. Now let's move on to our Pabbly Chatflow again, and here I am going to just click over the save button for saving the responses. Now I am going to add a status fallback. Now you might be thinking, what is the status fallback? So status fallback is the message which we are going to send to our customer after API request. So here I am going to impose a condition. So for imposing the condition we just have to go to actions, and here you can see we are getting the option for condition action. So let's select it, and we will be getting the condition action. And here I am going to impose a condition over the contact custom field, that is property, which we have recently added to our buttons, that is buy property and rent properties. And here it is asking me to select the condition on. So here I am going to place the condition over the contact custom field. So I will be selecting this, and afterwards we are getting the option for selecting the condition. So I am going to select the condition as equal, and afterwards I am going to select the contact custom field on which I want to put the condition. So here I am going to select my contact custom field as property. So here I have selected this, and after that it is asking me to enter the value from which I want to compare. So here I am going to enter my value as buy property. Now you might have got it that I am going to create two lists. First is regarding the properties for sale, and second one is regarding for the properties for the rent. So if my value is true or equals to buy property, my user will be redirected to the list which I have created for the sale, and if my value is not equals to buy property, then my user will be redirected to the list which I have created for rent. So here I am going to enter my value as buy property. So here I have entered my value. Now if my value is true, I am going to provide them a list of the properties for the sale. So for that you just have to drag and drop, and here you can see we are getting the option for list. So just select it and you will be getting this list message, and on this list message I am going to enter a body for the list. So here you can see I have entered body for my list. Now I am going to add some items to my list. So for that you simply have to click over this add section and enter the section title. So here I am going to enter my section title as property for sale. So here I have entered my section title. Now we simply have to click over this add items for adding items to our list. So here I am going to add 2 items to my list. So for that you simply have to click over this enter title, and here you have to enter the title of your first item. So now let's enter our title of our first item, and here on the description box I am going to add the pricing of the property. So here you can see I have created my first item. Now I am going to add its pricing over the description box. So here I have entered the pricing also. Now I am going to simply click over this add item and enter the title of my second item. So here you can see I have created 2 items to my list. Now I am going to enhance my this false button. So if my value is not equals to buy property, I am going to provide them a list of the properties for the rent. So for that again you have to drag and drop and click over this list. Now let's create our second list for properties for the rent. So here you can see for the properties for the rent I have created my second list. So here I have provided the body for my list, and I have entered the section title as property, and I have created 2 items to this list, that is flat and apartments. Now if my user selects any of these items from this first list, that is for the properties for the sale, I am going to provide them a thank you or the confirmation message. So for that you simply have to drag and drop, and here we just have to select text button for getting this message node, and here in this message node I am going to enter a thank you or the confirmation message. So here you can see I have entered this thank you or the confirmation message for my customers, and I have connected these both items with this message node. So now if anyone select any of these items, we are going to send them a thank you or the confirmation message. Now let's move on to our second list, that is for the property for rent. Now if someone select this option, that is flat, I am going to provide them an image of the flat. So for that you just have to drag and drop, and here you can see we are getting the option for media. So just select it and you will be getting this media button message. So here we just have to select the media type. So by selecting media you can provide any type of media such as audio, video, document, etc. to your customers. So here I am going to select my media type as image, and here we have to drag the file. So let's select this, and afterwards we are landed to my picture section, and here you can see we are getting this image that is flat. So let's select it and we are going to paste it over here, and as I have pasted my image I am already getting this URL for this image, and now I am going to add the caption that is flat. So here I have entered my caption. With this I am done with the flow. So you can also provide the image to your another items likewise, such as for this second item that is apartment. So here we are done with the flow. Now we simply have to save our flow. So for saving our flow we just have to click over the save button, and once you will click on save button you will be getting this pop-up which says flow updated successfully, means we have successfully saved our flow. Now for showing you how we are receiving message from our customer and how we are sending them the automated reply, let me take you towards my inbox section. For that you simply have to click over the inbox given on the sidebar, and as you will click on inbox you will be landed to the inbox page, and here you can see these are the numbers I have connected to my account, and on this particular number you can see I am successfully receiving the message from my customer and our automated replies are successfully sent or delivered to them. And one point has to be noticed that this is following the path which we have created through our flow, means if a user sends us a message we are going to send them a welcome message. Now if the user selects our first button that is buy property, we are going to send them a question asking for the full name. So this is the way a chatbot works. So you can also create a chatbot like this for enhancing your business and saving your time from manual workload. So start using Pabbly Chatflow now and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for learning more about Pabbly and creating many more amazing automations and chatbots like this. Thank you for watching this video. So you can create many more chatbots like this by using Pabbly Chatflow. Now if you have any doubt you can mail us at support@pabbly.com, and if you have any queries you can write it on forums.pabbly.com. But if you have any pricing related issue then you can visit the URL given over here. So start using Pabbly Chatflow for free now.